Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We're here today with our brand new Cabral HouseCall, the first one of the weekend, each Saturday and every Sunday each week. I love being able to open up our community document. This is all of your questions that have come in over the past few years, and I simply work down the document, making sure that I'm answering every single one of the questions that come in. So we are getting started with today's questions, of course, all things wellness, weight loss, anti-aging, all the things that we do. And the first ones are coming in from February 4th. Remember, we just go in the order that they come in. I can't answer them any faster. We do a dozen per weekend. And let's see, we are publishing this show on April 2nd. So we are exactly 8 weeks behind. We were 6 to 7 weeks. It just means that there's more questions coming in. My highest recommendation, if you have a question, is that you ask it at cabralsupportgroup.com. Our health coaches there are amazing at getting back to you inside of that private Facebook group. And also, they will point you to the podcast that is most relevant for your question. Now, if your question still wasn't answered and you're not working with one of our integrative health practitioners, not ours, but if you're not working with an integrative health practitioner or one of our Equal Life health coaches, then you can certainly ask it. No problem. And I'm happy to answer those. I just want you to know that actually nobody on our team sees these questions until they get submitted to the document. And the document isn't created by health coaches. It's created by one of my great admin assistants. And so they are putting all of this together. Okay. So they're not able to get to your question and I won't see it for about 8 weeks. Just wanted to let you know that. And if you're good with that, good. Then I'm happy to answer that question as well. So let's get started. The first question today is from Jovita. It says, hey, Dr. Brawl, I would love to know if you can help me with my stomach problem. I get bloated a lot and burp 24/7 to a point where I can't sleep at night. My doctor said I have chronic constipation and bacteria in my gut, and I also have heartburn. And I have been having this problem for 2 years and the medicine doesn't help. Is there anything you have that I can buy to help? Sure. I mean, without a doubt, we can help you with this. I mean, this is one of the things that we specialize in. We specialize in hormones, the autonomic nervous system, like that's a big part of what we do, and digestion. Again, we work with all people from all walks of life, but I mean, this is straightforward for us to help you with. And that is because, and your doctor may be right, you may have bacteria in your gut. Could be H. pylori, common for burping. Could be low stomach acid, just the low stomach acid. There's all sorts of different reasons. The very best thing you could do is run the 3 digestive tests. And then it's going to come with a full protocol, right? So, and then you also have the education. I don't want to just say, hey, take this, and take this. I don't want to provide green medicine, right? What I want to do is share with you why you have it, so that if it ever came back in a decade from now, you know why and what to do. So my goal for you would be to run, I'm going to give you these tests in order of importance. Bacteria and parasite stool test. Test for parasites, H. pylori, bacteria, candida. Okay, next up would be the candida and metabolic and vitamins test. That's number 2. I would run that as well if you can. And number 3 is an IgG food sensitivity test. That's number 3, third on the list. There is a gut bundle that gives you a discount on all of those at stephencabral.com/labs. You'll just click the view all labs and you'll be able to find that one. So that's what I recommend. Or you can just simply begin to work with our health coaching team. I don't want to give you the protocols. I really want you to find the why. Even if you only run that one lab test, that's what I recommend. All right. And yes, we will be happy to help you with this. Jen is up next. And by the way, Jovita too, there's lots of podcasts on this. If you go to stephencabral.com/podcast, just scroll through the top and you'll see the ones on digestion. I also have a course on this as well. 4.5-hour in-depth course. It's the equivalent to reading at least a dozen books on digestion. And that's at stephencabral.com/courses. So whatever works for you, works for me. Jen is up next. Hey, Dr. Brawl, I really appreciate this community you've built. It has helped me overcome health complications I didn't think I'd ever heal and restored my faith in power on my own body and mind. That's amazing, Jenna. I'm happy to hear that. That's exactly why we do what we do. I mean, that's the truth. It's why I do a daily podcast, because I know maybe at least 1 or 2 other people out there are going to find that information useful. They're going to put it to good use. They're going to heal themselves. And then, of course, they'll hopefully share it with friends and family. All right. So this one says, my question now is a little different. I'm thinking of going back to school to get my master's in psychology because I love the field, but I don't know what career to pursue with it. I was wondering if functional medicine companies like yours had a psychologist on staff working with the team and the clients. I would love to work with people who are determined to improve their health in all areas. I've thought maybe sports psychology would align the best with working on both the physical and mental aspects of health, but I thought I'd ask if were any opportunities for psychologists on functional medicine teams. Thanks for all your help. It's a great question, and I love questions like this beyond the typical wellness, weight loss, anti-aging, but this is still part of it because it's part of the same field. So when I was 22 years old, I got introduced to health psychology, and a colleague of mine and I was a nutritionist, personal trainer back then, brought in what he had his master's in, which was psychology. So he would bring me in his textbooks that he never ended up selling, and that I would read his textbooks. I was strange even back then at 22. And some of the first books I read was health psychology. And then after that, I started reading cognitive based therapy psychology and just kept going. Like, my love for psychology is almost as strong of my love of the human health of the human body through physiology. And so I love the mind. If I wasn't doing what I was doing right now, even though I combine it, I would be working for sure in the field of psychology. I really very much enjoy it, and I love it and love studying it. There's absolutely a time and place for a psychologist in all of these practices. So one of our top ambassadors for Equal Life has a team with a psychologist on it, I believe exercise certified personal trainer on it, themselves as the integrative health practitioner. And so, yeah, there's absolutely a place for it without a doubt. And you could also look at it from the aspect of how food affects the mind. And you could definitely do that as well. So, I mean, my opinion, become a certified integrative health practitioner, certified health coach, and then use your psychology with that. I think it's fantastic. I really do. All right. Well, and keep up the great work. Gillian's up next. Hey there, Dr. Cabral. I want to thank you first for sharing all of your wisdom with all of us. You have an amazing heart for people and touch more people than you will ever know. Thank you, Gillian. I appreciate that. My question is about breast implants. I got silicone implants 15 years ago after reading and learning about natural and functional medicine. I think I may have made a big health mistake. While I love the way it makes me look and feel, I do not want to sacrifice my health. I'm in my late 30s and healthy. Should I have them removed for health reasons? And if so, are there any healthy alternatives? Thank you so much. Okay, we have actually covered the topic of breast augmentation, breast implants, mold implants, autoimmune issues in implants, and much more. So I do want you to check out those shows because, believe it or not, besides the autoimmune issue where your own immune system is, well, it's not really autoimmune, right? Your immune system is attacking something that's foreign that's put in your body, all right? But then it can create all sorts of inflammation, and from that inflammation, of course, then there can be some what's called molecular mimicry, and then the immune system can see the breast implant as foreign, but then it could start attacking other parts of the body. I don't want to go too deep down that rabbit hole. So there is that part to it. But then there's also the part that, and I don't remember, I can't recall off the top of my head if it's saline or silicone or both that are very prone to growing mold. And you should see what these breast implants look like when you remove them, not all of them, of course, and the mold just covering them. And so you can look that up. You can write it. You can just type into the old Dr. Google, mold and breast implants, or mold-covered breast implants, and you'll be able to see that. So the thing is, though, I can't tell you what to do. I don't want to sway you because I know that at least for the mind, you like the way that you look, and I don't want it to affect you from a psychological standpoint. However, of course, we need to take into account your health. So what I would say is, I want you to work on the overall mindset and you. That would be my advice, right? And then when you feel good about you, whether you have the breast implants or not, which is what I want you to feel about you, then you can make that decision for your health and say, okay, I want to have them removed for my overall health, and I'm going to be good with me no matter what. So again, like I would love obviously for you to come to that decision. And then even when you feel good about you, whether you have the breast implants or not, the bottom line is you still don't have to have them removed if you don't feel it's the right choice for you. But now, whether you have them removed or not, you're still good with you. And I think that's the important thing. I don't know any natural alternatives to breast implants that are healthier. I just don't know of them right now. Someone else may, but you can't do the same type of augmentation that you could, for like a butt lift where they're basically injecting fat into your glutes to make your glutes more shapely. I don't think that they can do that for the breasts right now. Not that I know of, just because of different shape, structure, etc. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. Nancy's up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. I'm a 57-year-old female with a history of Hashimoto's thyroiditis, sleep apnea, and I had a heart attack 5 years ago with one stent placed. I'm on Pravastatin, 20 milligrams, Zetia 20 milligrams, recently gained about 30 pounds over the virus period due to lack of exercise. I'm vegan and gluten-free. My cholesterol has crept back up to 190, and my glucose is at pre-diabetic level over 1 point. I gained most of the weight in the middle region, and my cortisol is elevated. My oxidative stress and inflammation markers are low. I sleep well and meditate and do breath practices. I can't tolerate stronger statins due to the side effects. I know exercise will help, and I'm getting back on the wagon. What else can I do to reverse all this? Thank you. Okay, so believe it or not, all of this is easier than you think. It really is, because that was a lot, right? That was a lot that you were just sharing with me, a lot. Here's the thing, though. You're looking at each one of these individually. Hashimoto's, sleep apnea, heart attack. I mean, the heart attack is obviously, we're on the serious side, but we understand. High cholesterol, we've got high blood sugar. We've got a lot of things going on. But the nice thing is you don't need to work on any one of these. And I'll give you my medical disclaimer. We don't treat any disease. We don't provide any medical cures. We don't give any medical advice, right? We don't give any medical treatment plans. So what are we doing? Well, we're working on the body, which is imbalanced. You have all of these things because your body is allowing for the expression of this genetic makeup. Now, if you've read The Rainbow Effect or you've heard my other podcasts on genetics, you know that your genes matter. However, they do not dictate your destiny. That means you can turn off these genes instead of having them express themselves. Just like I turned off my rheumatoid arthritis, type 2 diabetes, my rheumatoid arthritis, type 2 diabetes, my Addisons disease, these types of things. These were in me, right? But I don't have them anymore. And it doesn't have to be the case for you as well. So the biggest thing that you can do and the best thing that you can do is run the Big Five, honestly, because you need to look at everything. You need to look at your vitamins, your minerals, your omegas. You need to look at your gut function. You need to look at your food sensitivities. And then you'll get a real plan to be able to then rebalance the body. And when you rebalance the body and your body's healthy, disease can't exist. Disease cannot exist in a healthy body. It's not what it works. It's not how it works. Because the body is self-regulating at a state of equilibrium. It has all the nutrients and raw materials it needs to be able to fight off whatever it needs, and it doesn't have the toxicity weighing it down. All right, so Nancy, we're here to help. We really are. Run the Big Five, whether it's with an integrative health practitioner or our team, and you can find the Big Five at stephencabral.com/labs. Or you can run it with your local naturopathic doctor. Totally fine with that as well. Just look at what the Big Five are, say, I want to run these. Can you help me with them? And they should be able to. Desiree is up next. Hi, is a heavy metal intoxication related to autism or ASD? Is there any treatment recommended if they are related to reducing the effects of heavy metals in the diet, vitamins, or natural therapies? All right, it's a great question. And yes, there's a lot of links to autism and autism spectrum disorder, executive functioning disorder, many, many different classifications, and heavy metals. Now, the question is, were the heavy metals there first, in part, causing then the autism? Or does autism not allow for the best detoxification possible by the human body? It seems to be both, but we don't know, because we know heavy metals can be passed on from the mother, in utero. And we also know that the detox of children with autism, as well as gut function, doesn't seem to be doing as well either. So the answer is basically yes all around. We don't provide treatment protocols, right? What we do is we help rebalance the body at an underlying root cause level. So I will always recommend the Candida metabolic and vitamins test if you only do one for children with autism, but ideally we're running the starter kit. The starter kit is a discounted bundle lab. It's looking at heavy metals, your minerals, electrolytes, etc. And then the Candida metabolic vitamins test looks at your vitamins, your gut function, etc. Okay, so I recommend the starter kit. And then, yes, there is something called the heavy metal detox, and you can find that at stephencabral.com/shop. And the dosage can be reduced for children. All right, last question of the day is from Audrey. Audrey says, hi, Dr. Cabral. I've been listening to your show for several years now, and it has truly changed my life. Thank you. I've searched for this question, but I have not found it on the archives. Is broken 8 to 9 hours of sleep still considered getting a full 8 hours? My 6-month-old wakes up once a night. So for instance, I will get 6 hours of sleep and then another 2 to 3 hours after I feed her and she goes back down. Okay. Yeah, it's a great question, Audrey. And so you want to look at it is it during the nighttime hours? That's the first question. Okay. So let's say you're in bed for 8 to 9 hours, which is great. So, okay. And let's say you are up for 30 minutes. All right. I'm just going to put out the 30 minutes there because you didn't say how long. I'm just saying it's 30 minutes. So let's say you go to bed at 9 p.m. All right. And so let's say you're sleeping that 6 hours, right? So you get out 6 hours straight. So that's 3 in the morning, right? 9 to 12, 12 to 3, you get your 6 hours. Then you're up from 3 to 3:30 a.m. And then after that, you're back in bed until, 5:30 or 6:30 a.m. So if it's this individual sleeping from essentially 9 to 6 a.m., great 9 hours of sleep right there or so, and they have interrupted for 30 minutes in between, does it still count for 8 to 9 hours? The answer is yes, it is. So the way that you can track, though, if it's quality sleep, like what happens when you go back to sleep? Is it just all light sleep all thereafter? Or is it still REM? Because if you're sleeping for 6 hours, you probably got in your deep sleep, which is great. And then you're getting REM in and out the rest of the time. So I would track that using, I've got a bunch of different devices that I use. The best one that I've seen for sleep is the Oura Ring. I think their HRV is way too low compared to every other device that I've used, but their sleep tracker, I think, is spot on. I know that it's spot on. I've tested it I've tested it now for 4 years, and it's spot on. So that's what I would use. You're going for 90 minutes of deep sleep and over 2 hours of REM sleep per night. That's the goal. 8 to 9 hours is fantastic. If you were to ask me, hey, I get 6 hours during the night and then 2 hours from like noon to 2, it's not exactly the same because you're not down. You're not in the parasympathetic nervous system for 8 to 9 hours. You're shortening your parasympathetic nervous system window and you're kind of moving in and out of it. Not bad. Again, not terrible, but what you're doing is much more optimal. So that 30 minutes should not be affecting you as much. But again, you can track that and see. All right. So hopefully this has been helpful. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support, of course, of the Cabral concept. We appreciate you, the whole team and myself. I'll be back tomorrow answering more of our community's questions.